AniOta become ninja. Chapter 11 Zalin, the second nation struck. While not exactly a stroke of luck, the nuclear missiles launched were tactical in nature. Landing in the mountainous regions of Zalin, casualties were limited to hundreds, averting the worst-case scenario. Yet the impact was still profound. Jen, Hanzo, and Momo prepared to travel to Zalin with the United States military. "Is everyone prepared for our trip to Zalin?" Jen checked with the team. Hanzo nodded quietly. "All preparations are complete. We have all the equipment and reagents necessary for radiation decontamination." Momo added in agreement, "The low-temperature plasma device is also ready. We'll do everything we can for the treatment of the affected individuals." En route to Zalin aboard the United States military transport plane, Jen and his team received a detailed briefing on the local situation. The Zalin government had requested international assistance, and relief teams from various countries were already mobilizing. The implementation of Momo and Hanzo's research findings had been approved by the Zalin government as emergency measures. However, consent from the individuals or their families was mandated for plasma treatment. Upon arrival, Jen and his team witnessed the severity of the damage firsthand. Parts of the mountainous regions were completely devastated, with significant damage extending to surrounding villages. Due to radiation effects, many residents had been forced to evacuate. Priority 1 is rescuing and treating the affected individuals, Momo asserted with unwavering determination. "I agree. Let's also proceed with experiments for radiation decontamination." Concurrently, Hanzo replied. They immediately began their operations. Momo utilized the low-temperature plasma device for treating radiation victims, noting significant improvements in their conditions beyond expectations. Meanwhile, Hanzo conducted experiments using microorganisms to decontaminate radiation. Experiments with Deinococcus radiodurans and Schwannula onidensis progressed smoothly, gradually reducing radiation levels in contaminated soil. Jen, overseeing operations on site, worked tirelessly to coordinate with the Zalin government and other international relief teams. His blockchain-based information management system greatly contributed to streamlining relief efforts. Jen, the treatment is showing positive results. Symptoms in the victims are beginning to improve, Jen was informed. Things are progressing well on our end too. The radiation decontamination experiments are successful. This should help mitigate the damage, Hanzo added. Months passed, and conditions on the ground gradually improved. Thanks to Jen's team efforts and international support, Zalin began to show signs of recovery. While uncertain if it was due to plasma treatment, no fatalities from radiation exposure had been reported at this point. "We've come this far. Thanks to everyone's cooperation," Jen expressed his gratitude sincerely. "Our technologies have proven invaluable. But we can't afford to let our guard down," Momo replied with a smile. "Let's continue giving our all. For the sake of Zalin's recovery," Jen affirmed. "You're right. We need to keep monitoring the progress regularly," Hanzo added. Thus, Jen, Momo, and Hanzo vowed to continue their efforts for the recovery and peace of Zalin. Their actions provided hope to those affected and paved the way for a brighter future. With progress assured, the trio decided it was time to return to Japan for the time being. Final chapter towards the future. the military regime of Cornelia, responsible for the nuclear missile misfire, eventually collapsed under the pressure of stringent economic sanctions imposed by the United Nations. Under the supervision of a UN monitoring mission, Cornelia held its first democratic elections, ushering in a new government. The new president declared complete disarmament of nuclear weapons, initiating the process of rebuilding trust within the international community. Meanwhile, Jen, Momo, and Hanzo pursued their respective paths. Hanzo, deciding to dedicate himself to research aimed at decommissioning the Fukushima nuclear plant, remained in Japan. Leveraging his expertise, he focused on developing safe and efficient processes for decommissioning. Momo returned to France, continuing her research. Using plasma technology to find treatments for liver cancer, the cause of her grandmother's death. The potential of low-temperature plasma therapy held significant promise, and Momo tirelessly worked towards its practical application. Jen prepared to return to the United States to commence his delayed enrollment at Stanford University. Before that, the trio decided to have one final gathering. One day, Jen, Momo, and Hanzo reunited. They reminisced about past adventures, discussed their dreams for the future, and shared their plans moving forward. "I'm really glad we could meet again, Hanzo, Momo," Jen smiled warmly. "Me too, Jen. The days we spent together are treasures for a lifetime," Momo replied. "Let's continue to do our best on our respective paths," Hanzo said firmly. "Oh, and I have news. I received permission from Takahashi-san to lift the codenames. We can now address each other by our real names," Jen relayed. "Really? There's still much to do, but that's good news," Momo said with joy. "Yeah," Hanzo returned the smile. Leaving the shop, the three nodded at each other. "All right, Jun, Emily, are you both ready?" Ryan asked. "Yeah," they replied. And the three shouted towards the sky. As of today, the Ninja Project is disbanded. Their voices echoed, celebrating their past adventures. While the Ninja Project had come to an end, each harbored new hopes and determination for the future. "By the way, let's make sure to meet again at next year's Ani Fest," Emily suggested. "That's a fantastic idea," Jun agreed. "Let's gather again in a year at Ani Fest and catch up on each other's progress." Ryan smiled and nodded. "Of course. It's a promise." Later, the day arrived for Ryan to head to the United States. Upon arriving at Stanford University's campus, he was greeted by a crowd of students and professors, welcoming him as the Ninja Hero of the Year behind. They praised his brave actions and dedicated efforts. "Ryan, your story has given us great courage," one professor said. "Let's continue to learn together and forge our future." Filled with gratitude, Ryan replied, "Thank you. I'll continue to do my best." And so, the three continued on their individual paths, never forgetting their friendship and trust, as they moved towards a peaceful, everyday life and a bright future. While the Ninja Project had concluded, they believed, without doubt, that new adventures and challenges awaited them. Looking forward to their reunion at Ani Fest 1 year later. Thank you for listening to the end. AniOta だけど仲間と共に忍者になる世界のために
イオプラズマブロックチェーン、光を求め心は一つ、壁がどれだけ高くても道がどれだけ長くとも We are 忍者乗り越えられる。心は燃えている、未来を見つめて勇気を胸に刻み共に進むんだ。風を切り音もなく暗闇を裂いて進む。バイオプラズマブロックチェーン、光を求め心は一つ、壁がどれだけ高くても道がどれだけ長くとも We are 忍者乗り越えられる。心は燃えてる、未来を見つめて勇気を胸に刻み共に進むんだ。風を切り音もなく暗闇を裂いて進む。バイオプラズマブロックチェーン、光を求め心は一つ、壁がどれだけ高くても道がど